Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aulia Dela Zazkia. Now I want to explain resume chapter 3. In this chapter, the author discussed the work produced in the late 1950s and early 1950s. 1950s by Richard Hogarth, Raymond Williams, A.P.H. Hogarth and Williams, by one of the former directors of the Center of Contemporary Cultural Studies. Richard Johnson uses the term to indicate the extent of a body of theoretical concern linking the work their territories. Richard Hogarth use of literacy, usefulness, literacy. Ulang. Usefulness literacy is divided into parts, older describing Hogarth's childhood working class culture in the 1930s and generating place new deep-seating traditional working class culture under threat from now forms of mass entertainment of the 1950s. Sharing books this way with itself speaks volumes about the perspective drawn and the conclusion drawn expect mostly on by childhood memories some 20 years ago. The evidence for the cultural decline represented by popular culture in the 1950s. In its material collects as university lectures and research in short order is based on personal experience. The new in research academic, this is showing rather than exploring consumer class workers. Hogarth notes therefore do not seek escape from life ordinary, but its intensification in the embodied belief that life usually intrinsically attractive, not just irresponsible and representative mass entertainment pleasures. They also destroy the cultural structure of the older highlighter working class. He instead, the we were moving towards the creation of mass culture, the remains of what was at least partly people's urban culture destroyed replies. He claims that class culture workers of the 1913 express what he called the full life reach, which is characterized by a strong sense of community. Hogarth approached the popular culture has much in common with approach Leifism, but both operate with the idea of cultural decline. Both see education in discrimination as a means to the manipulation, attraction of mass culture. His distance from Leifism is most clearly seen in the content binary of appreciate good past or bad present. Instead of organic community, 17th century, its good old days was the working class culture of the 1930s NS. What Hogarth celebrates from the 1913 is significantly culture armed against the leftists. Raymond Williams' cultural analysis. Raymond Williams' influence on cultural studies was immense. In this section, I will only comment in his contribution to culture and his contribution to the study of popular culture. In Analysis of Culture, Williams 2009 outlines their general categories in definition of culture. First, there is the ideal, where culture is a state or process human perfection in the terms of certain absolute or universal phase event. Second, there are the documentary records extant text the particious culture. In the definition, culture is a body of intellectual and imaginative work which in a detailed way human thoughts and experience are recorded differs. Third, there is a social definition of culture, where culture is a description of way of life particular. The definition is social culture is very important for the establishment of culturism. This definition introduces the new ways of thinking about culture. First, position the anthropologist who sees culture as a description of a particular way of life. Second, the proposition the culture expresses certain image and values. Third, claims the cultural analysis work should be clarification of implied meanings and value the described in a certain way of life, certain culture. A.P. Thompson, The Making of Working Class English. The making of the British working class details the political and cultural information of the working class. England, with this subject approach from the three but related perspectives. First, reconstruction. In the British political and cultural tradition, or radicalism, in the late 9th century, 12th. Religion discerned the obstinance the people and the influence of the Revolution French. Second, the focus on the social and cultural experience of the industrial revolution, such as carried out by different working groups. Weaver, field workers, snappers, cotton, craftsmen. Finally, this is analysis the growth of the working class conscious as advanced in growth appreciate the various political, social and cultures of strongly based on the self-aware working class institution. As he sees it, the working class make itself as much as it is made. He drew the conclusion from the research. First, when very care has been made, which it is remarkable fact, the period between 1790 and 1813 was the formation of the working class. Second, he claims that this is perhaps the most popular British culture has been known. Thompson himself won the difficulties in reading the contribution of the debates of how culturism is made to carry to very different meanings. Thompson strongly disagrees with the second proposition. and completely rejects the suggestion. The culturism, regardless of definition, can be applied to his own work. Stuart Hall and Paddy Wannell, Popular Art, refuse attacks on popular culture by helping to facilitate popular discrimination within and across popular culture itself. Popular culture effect, he should try to train a more demanding audience. The more demanding audience, according to Hell and One Hell, the more demanding audience likes jazz more than pop. Miles Davis than Libers Frank Sinatra and Adam Faith police film from Hollywood mainstream means married back to the South Pacific and now intuitively and insignificantly that high culture usually always the best. One problem with their destination between art, the popular art, is that it depends on its clarity on art as a surprise, but this is art as defined in modern terms before the modern revolution in art mass cultural criticism. They seek to privilege certain popular culture texts and practice the therapy, removing it from the condiment of the critics of mass culture to doing its they introduce a new category, popular art. Popular art is mass culture that has risen above this. Origins main focus of the popular arts is on the textually quality of popular culture. However, when Hall and when Wannell turn the question of youth culture, they feel the need to discuss in introduction between the text and the audience. Other than that, they realize that in order to do full justice to this relationship, they must include other aspects of audience life, work, politics, relationship with family, social and moral beliefs, and so on. Center of Contemporary Cultural Study. In the introduction to the Long Revolution, William Lemons and fact there is no an academic subject in which the question I'm interested in can be followed up. I hope that one day there might be green tree describes it from Hogarth and Gramsci. Especially under Hall's leadership, we found a very different from pop music culture and popular culture in general. Lots research who follow Hogarth to the center did not pop music that disgusting. On the contrary, they find it very interesting. Cultural study, cultural text, and practice to reconstruct and reconstruct experience. Value at the feeling structure of the particular group or class in a entire society to better understand the lives of those who live the culture. Thank you. That's it for me. And see you again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.